Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So, I'm jumping here on my iPad. Why do I say that all the time? My laptop. And I'm taking a look at our gappers, which has not been good. I mean, the top gapper, if I could show you real quick what that looks like, I mean, I hope that you can see that. That is a terrible, terrible looking chart. Which is expected. It's, it is what it is. We have not been seeing much follow through with the momentum stocks. I'm just going to turn this down for a second.
Yep.
And I've been monitoring a lot of different stocks this morning, like Apple and Facebook. All these companies that had blowout earnings and the overall market. I went on, wow, look at that sell off. Look at this. This is like if you want to trade pre-market, you really have to be careful of buying something like Apple, which had great earnings, amazing earnings, but it's down $1 in the pre-market from where, the initial push was after 7 a.m. It's just dropped ever since, and especially around the 8 a.m. hour, you have a lot of the big money coming in. And there was so many sell orders. I mean, I was watching level 2 here. 10,000 shares, 15,000 shares, 20,000 shares on Apple in the pre-market. Those are pretty decent size orders, even for Apple. And it just kept driving the price down. And we had drops here in 1 minute candles of like 30, 40 cents. So if I was going to get in at 100 shares, I would already be down, $90 in just a snap of a finger. And I purposely did not get in trading this pre-market, because when you're trading pre-market, you can get these really big drops. All it takes is one huge sell order from a hedge fund or a big institution. Like here, I'm seeing here's a 17,000 share seller at 137. If you can't get past that number, now it's 17,000. It's still 17,000. They're going to end up driving the price down, which makes it really difficult to trade some of these, pre-market. These are the really high cap stocks, but you could get nice movement in these, because in the momentum world right now, these gappers have been non-existent in the morning. Pre-market used to be a lot of fun trading those, and it's just not there anymore. They're not holding up. You might get a little bit of a boost, but other than that, I mean, I'll take a look at our pre-market gapper again. I mean, it's like trying to reclaim VWAP, but before that, you went from 985 to 914 in like 4 minutes. That could flush a lot of day traders out, and really, really, now it's being rejected from VWAP. And, you get those big flushes and your day is like over before it even starts. So I'm going to wait until the opening bell. I want to see how some of these stocks trade off the open. A lot of times you'll see if you have a big gapper, I'm talking about with like Facebook, Apple, these big gap ups from their earnings. Sometimes you'll have a little bit of a sell off, profit taking the first couple minutes. Price discovery is what I call it from the market makers. And then you may see it catch a floor. And then with the overall market today, it will go possibly retesting maybe pre-market highs, which 138 on Apple has been a level of resistance. You may trade down to the 136s before coming back up. That's just what I've seen happen before. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. But anyway, nothing much else to share this morning. Pre-market gappers, I'm just not getting involved because it's not trading the way that it should be, which means it's choppy, which means you have a lot of, I don't want to call them people that don't know how to trade, but you have a lot of, new money in there right now that is just taking positions. A lot of times I'm just watching here, they're buying when they shouldn't be buying, and then they're getting flushed out. It's just not something I want to get involved in until the day traders come back and we can start playing off, our patterns that have made us a ton of money, especially in 2020. But we'll see what, we have a lot of stocks on watch this morning. And we'll see what happens with the overall market, because it is deep in the green this morning. All right, guys. Before I share the screen, hit that thumbs up for me. And thank you guys all for hitting that like button on the videos recently. I appreciate it. And the Discord has been awesome. So I'll link that in the description. Go follow that, and Twitter. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We have new videos every single day. Now, sharing the screen. Okay, everyone. Sharing the moneymaker. So, the reason why I am cutting the day here, I'm going to shut down the platform. I will be on the Discord chat, obviously, for those of you that enjoy my input. And I'll also link that in the description so you guys could get in there. It's a free group. It's an awesome group. And this morning, I alerted the group to exactly what I thought was going to happen with the overall market and Apple, how it was going to trade out of the gate. So you had extreme exuberance from after hours last night to pre-market today, extreme emotional buying. It started after hours. People bid up Apple to $140 a share. And all it has done since, because the smart money, right, the big hedge funds, the institutions, they've already been into this stock, okay? They didn't wait until now to buy. So what happens is there'll be profit taking a lot of times in the pre-market and in the first 30 minutes of trading. There'll be profit taking from these great reports and a lot of buyers, because for big positions to be able to be unloaded, you need a lot of buyers. So that's why a lot of these days you'll see stocks killing earnings, absolutely destroying earnings, but their stock will sell off. Here's a stock right here, since I pulled it up. VXRT. And this is another reason why I'm just shutting down the platform. I started looking at this for a potential ABCD pattern. What normally would happen when things were good is you would get a burst to new highs and continuation. Instead, you get a massive, massive sell off here. This right here, $11 to 10.32. The next minute, $10. That is not good. So a lot of people, while you see it make new highs, they get flushed out. So there's some big positions, maybe Ross over at Warrior Trading, that unloads and there goes the stock. But what used to happen when there was a lot of day traders trading these markets in 2020, this thing would keep going and it would make a lot of people rich. So this market, if you're being consistent and you're profitable, you are going to have the greatest environment when things actually turn around, because this market is, there's a lot of patterns that are not holding up, which we hate to see. So let's see what's going on with Apple. This is, wow, look at this lag. Checking my, yeah, my internet's good. That's TOS. There must be big volume this morning. So Apple, here's a perfect example, right? This is an absolute perfect example of what I called out in the Discord this morning. I hope some people saw my messages, because this is what I mean. In the after hours, this thing rocketed to previous highs right here, which this is like, I had this already there, and it's crazy that these levels keep hitting my price targets. So a lot of levels, when you see them on my screen, a lot of times these are really for me while I'm trading to see where I can get entries into a stock. And I'll see if this shows. I don't know if this is going to show my trades. So a lot of times with TOS, now it's a good platform, but a lot of times, and it's not showing my trades right now, maybe it'll pop up, but there's just, when there's a ton of volume and there's a lot of people on TOS, Thinkorswim, things lag a little bit. So you have to be aware of that, you know, when you're trading, especially the first half an hour. So what happened with Apple is you have resistance at 138. You had the pre-market support at 136.50. So this right here provided a bit of a bounce if you wanted to do it really fast, and then it continued to sell off. I wish, let me see, maybe I could just get in here. What time was it? Let's see. Apple's buys and sells 9:36 and 9:41. Yes, so 9:36 a.m. in this one right here. So what I was doing was I was trying to get a bounce off of this 135. So I took entry in this candle, got a nice move, and immediately sold. And then my next position, if we go in here, since it's not showing my trades, was 9:41, selling 34 seconds later. So 9:41, we started a bounce. So at 9:41 is this green candle here. I sold into what I thought, well, it actually turned out to be resistance now. So what is normally support. You'll get a bounce. And then once it breaks it, the previous support level will turn into resistance. So that's where I take my profit. I don't hold and wait and see if this goes to 140 yet. I like to see, especially during price discovery, which is that first half an hour, maybe 45 minutes of the trading day. Let's see where things shake out. So a lot of times, and I'll only take 100 shares at a time during this time period, because what goes up real quick for a profit can go down really quick, and it's tough to manage risk during that time period. So that's what I did here. And then my profit target was previous resistance, got out of it, and then we saw what we see here, more of a sell-off. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch this and the overall market. The overall market has also done the same thing. If we pull up the futures, it took advantage of all the emotional buying. People were able to sell at all-time highs, and that's why you see this dropping here. So you can't trade emotions. Take that out of it. I know when things look amazing, you see just tons of green on the screen, futures up to 1 billion. You have to realize when things are like that, the chances of it going further are far less than it correcting itself before then going. So, that's what a lot of times when you have these things, they try to do a gap fill. You see a gap fill before it then takes off, which I'll be monitoring that. But as far as trading goes, I'm going to cut it here. My best trading happens within the first half an hour of the day. And when I see things like this right here, this tells me that I don't want to be involved in the market right now. I had a couple of good trades, and unfortunately, I only took 100 shares. We all wish that it was more when we actually, got it right. But during that time period, I don't like to really do that too much. So we could pull up the SPY real quick and see what that's doing. So I have here a price level that I put down. What this probably was, I think so that's previous highs from yesterday. We'll see how this responds here to this level. If it breaks through it or if it gets a bounce. So far, it's trying to bounce off of this. Because you want to see, where is it going to bottom out, right? Where is the market going to find, okay, that's enough selling, now the buying comes in, because there's always going to be some more buying after you get a big sell-off. And we're still up, $1.50 on the SPY. So even though this looks like a huge sell-off, we haven't even closed the gap yet from yesterday. I mean, we have all the way down to the 418s, which would probably be the next logical stop off from here. So, while the market is just, doing its thing right now, I can't really get long in a market that's doing this, even though it's still in the green. So we're still in the green, but it's just been a tremendous sell-off since the open. So I'm going to wait, see where things bottom out, and then that's when would be a good time to get entrance. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and gained a little knowledge on Too much enthusiasm sometimes is not a good thing. A lot of the big money, the computer algorithms, they'll take advantage of all that buying, and they'll get the best prices while while we buy into while we give them the money. So just trade smart, trade without emotions. Just, you see a lot of green, everything looks great, you smell the roses, the flowers are blooming, the birds are chirping, but sometimes you might just want to sit on your hands, let things settle down, and then strike once you see a direction, finally making higher highs and higher lows. And that's how you buy a dip. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button for me if you're new, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video. Everybody take care.